Hi friends. So the wheel has named we are going to do Diazepam today, or Diazepam, sorry. I keep saying pan, which someone requested me to do, and I was gonna not do it today because, as stated in the other two, which were my last two ones, still recording on that same day, not feeling great mental health wise. But then I thought, I'm assuming this will be a mental health related song to at least some degree, because Diazepam, which I totally forgot to look up, I believe is the generic for Valium. Could be wrong, but I'm like 90% sure that's the generic for Valium. For those who don't take medications, I know these through psych meds, but I'm sure they're for other meds too. They're usually the most like famous names you hear of, like Valium, like Prozac, like whatever, Adderall. There's a generic version, which basically just means like it's got a different name and usually it's a lot cheaper to get, but it's more or less the same drug. Like I technically don't take Adderall, I take like amphetamine diox something salt or whatever. Like Ren was at one point, I think he name checked, he was prescribed the medicine I take for anxiety. He was prescribed citalopram, which is generic of the more well-known drug Celexa. So in this case, instead of Valium, I assume he took diazepam. Same thing, just cheaper. Pretty much, you're not paying for that name recognition from your drugs. So I was gonna not do it because I'm not feeling the best today. I'm feeling better. Definitely doing Bittersweet Symphony helped because that was a really lovely song. But I'm still just a little off. But then I thought maybe this was the best time to do this song because, it's gonna be, I guess it's an animated one. I'm sure I can talk a little bit about the visuals, but I'm also coming at this, as someone with, a couple mental health issues of being, anxiety, or an anxiety disorder, generalized anxiety, panic disorder, depression, and ADHD. So I figured, hey, I can speak somewhat knowledgeably, at least on my experiences when it comes to it. I imagine we're going to do a little bit of that just because of the subject matter of the song. For those who don't want to hear that from me, totally fair. Keep going, because I have no shame. I'll just speak personally, because I can pretend I'm not talking to anyone because there's this camera here. I have no consequences. So, I'll probably get into that kind of stuff, and I figure, why not do it when I'm not feeling great, to just kind of show the realities of that, of that kind of life. Granted, it might be hard to tell that I'm not feeling great. I've gotten extremely good at masking over the years. Working the last 12 years at a theme park, I can be either with a fever or ready to just burst into tears, and no one will ever know. It's one of my skills. So, yeah, let's do this. It'll be interesting. I saw the thumbnail had an animated Ren, which gave me a vibe of a certain animated film that I won't mention until I see it again and see if it's really reminding me of that. So let's go. Diazepam. Oh, that's cool. I don't know if that's animated or not. It looks almost, I'm sure it's all animated, but the way that it almost looks like they're panning on like a miniature building, like a physical little building, and then it's going into animated windows. If that's not the case, which I doubt it is, it looks that way, which is a really cool effect. Because that almost looks like it's solid, the building itself, but then you see the little animations in the window. That's cool.
I seem to feel so much better when it kicks in. Chemical.
It does look like that. Okay. Here's your small film tangent of the video. The animation on him kind of looks like this really fantastic movie called The Congress that came out in, I don't remember, was it 2013? I think it was 2013. I could be wrong. Anyway, I can't be a full IMDb on here. It's a really, I'm going to tell you a little bit about it, even though really I'm just saying that it looks like him because I really want more people to see it, especially with the rise of AI generated stuff. I think was an incredibly prophetic film and really fantastic. It stars Robin Wright Penn, the girl who played Princess Buttercup in Princess Bride, and she's playing herself, and basically it's, she's doing okay financially, but she like needs money, I think, for like her kid or something. so she can sell her likeness to a company that will basically scan her and put her into a computer so that she can be put in movies. From now on, they can like make her younger. She has like clauses of like no nudity and things like that. But like they can just keep putting her in movies, and all these actors are starting to sign up for this. Lots of people, performers, whatever, they're getting themselves scanned in to be basically a part of an AI that they can just keep making projects for. Regardless if the person retires or gets older or dies, they can do this. And you see this in the first half of the film, and in the second half of the film, you see just how far it goes. And it becomes, for most of the second half, a 2D animated film. So you see all these people now kind of voluntarily live in this world where they can look anime, where they can look like anything they want. They can be whatever they want. But the reality is it's kind of become a dystopian world where everyone's living in this kind of AI fantasy where they can just kind of do whatever. And it's an interesting film. It's more interesting than I'm making it sound. The way I'm describing it sounds like Ready Player One. It's not. It's much better than Ready Player One. But yeah, the animation on this is making me think of that. Yeah, a little bit. I also love the way his voice is sounding, where it sounds like almost kind of not strained, but I don't know how to describe it. I'm not good enough at explaining music. It's a little thinner, which I think works for this song.
Oh my, I seem to feel so much better when it kicks in. Chemical kitchen, feel my brain destruct. Oh, diazepam me. Turn the volume down on my demons and you give me relief just for a second, and you make it all so numb. Oh, why die?
That's the thing with those. You know, I've never been on Valium, but I've always been afraid. For anyone who's not been on any kind of medication, specifically like mental illness or psychological medication, mental medication, that sounds ridiculous. We'll say psychopharmaceuticals. It's a little scary because you don't know if what you're going to take. You could have a bad reaction, like you could get hives or things like that. I've stated I had one that made me pass out. I had one I took last summer when I was trying to figure out my depression meds, that I just no longer needed sleep. And it wasn't like insomnia. I didn't sleep for almost 3 days, and I felt totally fine. I didn't feel tired. I felt pretty great. But I did call my doctor, like, hey, this probably isn't normal. I think my body, like, needs sleep. They're like, stop taking that. But I've also been on ones that really did make me feel incredibly numb. And it felt kind of cool. But at a certain point, I was also like, I don't think I can feel anything. Like, I was pretty sure if I, like, stepped in front of a truck, I wouldn't feel it, because I just genuinely felt nothing, like, physically or emotionally. I felt completely numb, which is not how you're supposed to feel. That's not the correct medication for you. I've said to friends of mine who are thinking about meds is that I always equate it to Harry Potter, which is a weird thing, but I'm like, look, it's like finding a wand. You're gonna explode a few vases, but eventually the light glows and you find the right one, hopefully. But yeah, I know some people who just want to go for the ones that make you feel numbed out, which I get. If you're so miserable, you just want it to stop. And that's the thing with those Adderall is a bit like that too, because with Adderall, it works like immediately. Whereas something like my anxiety meds, something like that, they take a little bit to build up in your system and you have to take them consistently. With Adderall, they're working within 10 minutes, but they only work for like 6 to 8 hours. Some people have long lasting ones, but that's why I have to take them twice in a day, because they're like almost like insulin, where like they're in your body immediately, but then when they wear off, it's like they were never there to begin with. There is no like build up like in other medications. It just is immediately gone and you feel that crash, so you need it again. It's this kind of, you need the help of the meds, but you don't want to become dependent on the meds. It's a lot. I love that.
Oh, diazepam me. Turn the volume down on my demons and you give me relief just for a second, and you make it all so numb. Oh, why diazepam do you make me feel like everything's not dissolving? Spinning doors are revolving. Swallow a tablet, I'm overindulging. I've tried diazepam to be the optimist and resist cards folding. You're the crutch that I'm holding. Don't want tomorrow, cause right now I'm golden.
could work for anyone just going through any kind of substance abuse, really. It doesn't have to be like prescription meds. But there is even, the crutch that I'm holding, there is even a thing of meds that don't make you feel like this. This kind of realization that when I found the right meds, it was like, oh, this isn't going to be a thing that I take, if I'm sick till I feel better. Because that's the problem, is a lot of people with psych meds, they take them and they feel better and they want to stop taking them. But the problem is, then you go back to the beginning. And I've done that multiple times in my life. I've convinced myself I don't need them. And then I need them again. I went years at one point without my anxiety meds. Bad choice. But the idea of getting some pills and knowing I have to take these every day to be cool, to be okay, is rough. You don't want it to be a crutch, but you also, there's no shame in it being one. This took me a while to figure out. It's like, let's say life is a race. We all deserve the same starting point, right? As far as, we don't, because of socioeconomic reasons and things like that, but just like as a human being, mentally, hopefully, we got at least close to the same starting point as much as one can. If you have a pill, if you're way back here for no reason other than the chemicals in your brain you were born with are kind of fucked, and there is a medication that could just, it's not gonna give you, it's not making you better than other people, it's just giving you close to the same starting point. You gotta be able to cut yourself some slack and give it to yourself. His fingers look crazy. That's crazy. It's also giving me kind of like 80s and 90s independent weird animation. Like Cool World or like heavy metal. They don't look like it, but the vibe is similar to me.
My very essence, my coding, went for a swim and then drowned in your ocean. Don't lie, Diazepam, promised me the world, but now I'm rotting and molding.
That's the problem. This is more of a drug analogy or anything really. When you become dependent on this thing will make you feel better, eventually that thing's gonna stop working. And then the thing that you put all your faith in is just gonna make you feel like shit. Yeah, I can't with those meds. I've been prescribed, I don't think I was ever prescribed Valium, but I was prescribed similar things that I just refused to take. I wouldn't do it. My anxiety enough won't let me, I can't stand the idea of like not being in full control over my like faculties enough to take, because they've been like, oh, we need to get you something to really calm you down. And it was, I can't remember what it was, but it was some kind of like serious drug because my anxiety was really bad at the time. And I'm like, nope, can't do it. No way. Screw that. Won't do it. I had enough time when they, oh man. Here's another tangent, a mental health tangent, so please feel free to skip forward. And this is not to discourage anyone who is on this medication or might need to be on this medication from taking it. But last summer when I was trying to figure out a good depression med, I tried Prozac. And it was, I've had anxiety. I can remember my first anxiety attack, which seems crazy because of how young I was that I would remember it, but it's one of my earliest memories. I was 4, and it was at preschool, and I remember it. At the time, I didn't understand it was a panic attack. There were a lot of those in my childhood where people just thought I was a really angry kid because I get really like upset and aggressive, but it was because I thought everyone felt the same way I did, and I didn't know how everyone was always fine. I assumed everyone was always feeling the way I was, that like everyone was laughing at them, or that like, everything was like closing in and it was always hard to breathe. I thought everyone felt like that and they were just like chill, and it made me mad. So, but yeah, my first panic attack, I can remember I was 4 years old. And so, even provided that, Prozac is the worst I've ever felt in my entire life. Kicked in about a day and a half after I took it, and I've never reacted that poorly to a medication. And, my poor mom was on the phone with me when I really started to spiral. I went from talking fine to my voice just speeding up and up and up and up and up and up, and then just my what I was saying started to make no sense, where I was just like really thought spiraling and just like saying the most paranoid crazy stuff. And she was like trying to calm me down, and suddenly I started to like form a stutter that was really bad, which I hated. When I get really panicked, I stutter and I don't like it, because I'm big on being able to communicate my words, and I couldn't. And by the time I can't remember if he texted my roommate or if my roommate finally just came upstairs, my lips were blue because I was hyperventilating so much that I couldn't breathe. She's like, you know, she made me like bite into a lime to try to shock my system out, and I was still just like violently shaking and couldn't breathe, and nothing was happening. And it was maybe 11:30 at night, so she's like, okay, get down to your underwear, jump in the pool, because we had a pool in the backyard and it was freezing. So she made me jump into the pool. She's like, I'll go in with you, we're gonna go in with you, but you gotta go in there to shock your system. So I did. I jumped in the pool at 11:30 at night in my underwear, to just try to snap myself out of it, and it helped a little bit. But that, I had the most violent panic attack I've ever had, and it lasted for about 30 hours, and I burned my Prozac. Never again. I don't even know why I started talking about this. This is just making me think about a lot of psych meds, and it's so not about this video. But look, here, you know what? That's what I said. I said, probably gonna talk about this stuff because I'm in a place and we're talking about a video called Diazepam, so fuck it. That's just what's happening. I'm not gonna get self-conscious and erase it. It's a safe space here because I've said it is, and it's my channel, therefore it is one. So yeah, there we go. On a different note, I am very much enjoying this song. The vibes are there. I like how his voice is really scratchy. It kind of works for him being kind of dazed on the medication. Nope, I'm not gonna erase this. I'm just gonna, no. Okay, sorry.
Diazepam, promised me the world, but now I'm rotting and molding. In my face it feels swollen. Anesthetic, I block that emotion.
I've been so lost in everything else, I haven't really talked much about the visuals, but they are really great illustrations of certain things you'll feel when you're kind of either on something or coming off something, all these different things of like the sort of falling through your own brain, or all the faces looking in at you. The falling thing makes me think of, someone did an amazing fan animation to, oh shit, what's the band that sings this? I forget the band name. The song The Mind Electric. There's a point where he's like falling and all these different things are happening around him. It looks really cool. Just type in The Mind Electric and there's like a little fan animation. It looks amazing. It's very Pink Floyd's The Wall, The Trial. It's cool as hell.
Synesthetic dreaming, I'm carried away. Anesthetic bleeding, a place for the pain. Self-destructive healing is one and the same. Oh, diazepam. Synesthetic dreaming, I'm carried away.
Is he saying synthetic? Or what is he? What kind of dream?
Diazepam. Synesthetic dreaming.
Synesthetic. Gotcha. I think that's when that's the it's not an illness, it's just a processing thing in your brain. I think I'm right about this. The one where like you can basically like hear colors, and like you hear a sound and it makes colors, or you see something and it makes a taste, or things like that. It's just like your I don't know what causes it, but like it's your ability to perceive the world, just kind of interesting. It's a little bit extra. So I guess a dream of that would be crazy. The self-destructive healing one and the same is is a great line. And it could just be for the drug itself, to like he's self-destructing while on these meds. But also we know that Ren is someone who had to go through a ton of different medications, some of which irreversibly hurt his body and his mind. So it's the idea of like, he's trying to heal himself, getting all these different medications, and also hurting himself, which that will happen sometimes with the side effect. I take 2 meds that I love and I need, but together they make it so the sun kind of hurts. Not here, thankfully, since I moved to Portland, but in LA, when it was like a dry heat, the sun felt like needles on my skin. So yeah, you just, sometimes it's a matter of side effects you can live with, side effects you can't, but it's that self-destructive healing one and the same, for sure.
Oh, diazepam. Synesthetic dreaming, I'm carried away. Anesthetic bleeding, a place for the pain. Self-destructive healing is one and the same. Don't lie, diazepam. Synesthetic dreaming, I'm carried away. Anesthetic bleeding, a place for the pain. Self-destructive healing is one and the same.
He's got a picture of a doggy. I'll find the doggies. Animation Ren kind of creeped me out a little bit, but I did really like that song. I like that song a lot. Man, I babbled for like 22 minutes about this. Oh boy, I probably talked way too much about unimportant trash. Ooh, nope, not gonna delete it. I promised myself I wouldn't. I promised myself if I completed a song, I would never delete it later. I'm just not gonna watch this before I post it. That's the rule. I'm just gonna post it blindly, so then it's your guys' problem. Fuck it. There you go. There's my reaction for Diazepam, and I did like it quite a bit. And this is a song I'd never heard of before from Ren. I do love doing these because I get to add more stuff to my Ren playlist. So I'm really trying to be a good girl and not listening ahead. So, and I've got a ton more on my reaction list, but please, by all means, keep adding more because it's fun. Including anything with, Big Push also. Put in some... What's the name of the first band again? I liked it because it had a fox in it. I love foxes. Trick the Fox. So any of those I should listen to. Put whatever you want. Or put non-Ren songs. I don't care. I mostly like indie rock, but, I'll try anything. I don't care. Except country. I don't want country. Don't give me country. Besides that, I'll take anything. Or EDM. You guys know how I feel about EDM. Anyway, there we go. I'm done with the babbles for the day. Yay. Bye, everybody.